Okay, that is a massive trade. That is a massive trade. We have to talk about this one. Okay, Gary Trent for Norman Powell, or Gary Trent around here for Norman Powell. Wow, I'm also intrigued to see how the Knicks are a part of this deal. But this is massive because, let me just see. Shout out to David Rutledge for the donation, though. Thank you. I know Travis Scott's going to go off. But Gary Trent, I believe, is a free agent, right? At the end of the year. Yeah, that's big because he's going to get paid a lot of money. He's going to get paid like around 20 mil a year for what he's doing in Portland. He's averaging 15 points behind Damian Lillard, and CJ McConnell will be back. Norman Powell, I believe, is also another free agent, so they're basically trading expiring contracts. Rodney Hood might be in there just to make the money work. He definitely is just to make the money work. He has a player option, which he's definitely going to opt out of because he will make more money on the open market. Ferguson to the Knicks, is that the move? Is that what's going on here? Why? Wait, what's going on here? Was it Shams that tweeted this? Why is Woj's stuff not coming up? But I like this for Portland because Norman Powell definitely is the better player. Is Twitter like crashing right now? But yeah, okay, Ferguson goes to the Knicks. Why? I don't really like that. Maybe they're just acquiring assets for Lonzo. No, I'm kidding. But I like this for Portland. How old is Norman Powell? He is 27 years old. Yeah, you look to re-sign him in the offseason. I do think he's a better player than Gary Trent, and he's having a phenomenal year. Like, he's going to get paid on the open market, like 20 or 21 mil a year, and Neil O'Shea and the Trailblazers front office are definitely willing to pay for him, it looks like, because you just traded Gary Trent, who's, I think, a little bit younger than Norman Powell, right? Gary Trent is 22. Wow, he's 5 years younger. So they were just trading a nice young player, Gary Trent, on the open market. So they're definitely bringing back Norman Powell. There is no way. Because Norman Powell is definitely opting out. I like it. I thought it was a little unnecessary. But shout out to Toronto, man. I really like this. And this trade also makes me think that Toronto is definitely trading Kyle Lowry today. Now that they're trading Norman Powell, who's been arguably better than Kyle Lowry this year. And it's kind of been maybe even better than Pascal Siakam for what he's been doing this year. Yeah, Siakam's putting up more points, but just barely. And Siakam's efficiency from three has gone down a little bit from last year. So this makes me think Kyle Lowry's getting traded. Cheese Weiner, Wiener, thank you for the $2 dono. What about the Mavs maybe jumping in a 3-team trade? Maybe. We know they don't have their first this year or in 2023 due to the Kristaps trade. But wow, that is something I did not expect to see today. Gary Trent, Norman Powell getting traded. Still don't know how to remove the Travis Scott thing. But those two players, we saw Vucevic, we saw Fournier.
We dump in a 3-team trade.
I already answered that, but we also saw Aaron Gordon. We saw a lot happen today. And what do you guys think in the chat? Is this a dub for the Raptors, or is this more of a dub for the Blazers? I like this for both teams. I'm just a huge fan of the Raptors picking up what's his name? Gary Trent, due to his age and being 22. I am a fan of that. George Hill was traded for Tony Bradley, which is interesting now. Who's their backup center? Is B-Ball Paul going to be in the mix now? Terrence Ferguson going to the Knicks. But yeah, I think it's a win for both. I do like that. I think Norman Powell's a better player, so you could say that the Blazers got the better player. But then the Toronto Raptors got a little bit younger with Gary Trent, who's only 22 years old. Both are going to get paid in the offseason. Both will be unrestricted free agents, as Powell has a player option, but he will opt out. And people saying, like, I don't know, like, it's weird because, like, the Raptors core, if they move Lowry, is Fred VanVleet, who's 27, Boucher, who's 28, and Siakam, who's 26. So it's not like they have a super young core at the moment. And, like, yeah, you could say Terrence Davis is still fairly young and Malachi Flynn, but, like, their main three guys in Boucher, Siakam, and VanVleet are all, like, hovering around 27 years old. So I wouldn't say that's the youngest core to build around. So I would say, like, even Norman Powell fits that timeline a little bit better due to him being 27. Maybe they just wanted to pay somebody different. Thank you, Travis Gardner, for the $5 dono. Thoughts on the Mavs? Doesn't make sense to value continuity with a mediocre roster when you always check out a free agency. Love the content. Thank you, man. But I agree. But that's kind of like what the I gotta stop cutting that off. And Sports Guide, $2 dono. Thank you, man. Shout out to South Jersey. But yeah, I think that's kind of what the Magic are doing. Like, they don't want to want to stick with the roster, just kind of be stuck around that 7th or 8th seed, and they blew up the team. They did. And it's kind of working. It's gonna work out in the